good morning. It's Anna. Anna Mulholland, Mana Massage and Structural Integration. I'm going to film myself doing what I often do, which is a sort of somatic experiencing that I go through on my own, where I often do what I call time travel, by which I mean I kind of identify discomfort, awareness of a negative sort within a tissue strand, and I try to explore the edges and shape, color and sound and trajectory of that experience, and often it relives something that I experienced in the past in my various injuries, including ones when I was really little, so that wouldn't be like an explicit memory of mine, one would imagine. I, in fact, don't have memories of that event, but I do track its experience in my body. It was an event where I, as an infant, rolled off a washing machine and had a scar on my nose, and my ears have different shapes because I landed on my head and wrapped my skull a bit. Is my opinion in retrospect, and experientially I had headaches and tinnitus as a child. So there was that, and then I also fell from a canvas swing when the swing was coming down to carry me back up the arc. Instead, my bottom fell off the swing, and my arm went up, and I drove my left heel into the ground, such that I had what they call a green twig fracture in the tibia, the large bone below the knee that bears most of the weight, splintered with a left rotation that, in retrospect, now at the tender age of 60, I guess 57 years later, I realize had that spiraling effect in this sort of rotation, which is to say a left-hand rotation. You're rotating to the left, which is in contradiction to a concept called the universal pattern, which is predicated on a rotation to the right, so that the splintering effect, while not through the bone, was through the fascia all the way through, and in typical fashion, I've been experiencing in the torso and then now just greatly up into the head, because I will typically not experience the discomfort until I've kind of unraveled it to a particular point, and then it reveals the next stage, because the main injury that preoccupied me for most of my adult life and the early part of my career was the sideways whiplash that I experienced at the age of 23 in California, which was a pretty close to a T-bone kind of injury, with a whip, actually a whip with I striking a blow on the steering wheel, and my necklace flew off that way, and then a lash, which went all the way down through to the compression through the right hip. Again, in retrospect now, that would have been 37 years ago. Wow. So I find all of this really fascinating, and what is occurring to me is that it resonates through the weave of the fascial fabric, in that it's more firmly established as a kind of a sticky point than, for example, knots in the belly wall, which are really all soft tissue. And of course, the organs were deeply impacted by these events, and notable amongst those is the fact that I injured my spleen and my splenic artery in that whiplash incident at age 23, and had really serious digestive problems until a couple of years ago, I belched a lot. I had persistent diarrhea and loose stools, and I had just a lot of digestive discomfort, which I did mitigate eventually by dropping dairy, which is helpful. But really, what happened is that my splenic artery was injured in that whiplash incident and went undiagnosed and untreated. I never got any treatment at that time, and really never tried to do anything about it for 10 years, which obviously is a mistake. Wish I had gotten treatment right away. Who knows what would happen, but it is what it is. Oh, what am I saying? So when I got that splenic artery treated by a Barral practitioner in Santa Fe, wonderful guy. If I publish this, I'll try to put his name, because he really is a fantastic practitioner, although I think he's retiring. Anyway, we were doing a practice, and we were supposed to treat the hepatic artery, the big artery that goes to the liver, and he said, "Oh, I can't do that for you. I have to treat the splenic artery because it's terribly scarred." And he worked on it a bit, and he said, this is a consequence of whiplash, and you nearly ruptured your spleen at that time. And then he sent me off to go get my he said, go home and find somebody to treat the suspensory ligaments of your heart, which I haven't really been that successful at. So if anybody in the Boston area is like, oh, I absolutely know how to treat the suspensory ligaments of the heart, could you hit me up, please? So anyway, there we are. This is after years of doing what I call time travel, which was what I was going to demonstrate, but I guess this is long enough. All right. Go have a great day. Bye.